Hello and welcome to Mr. English Lab. Before we begin, take a slow breath. You are here now. You pressed play. And that already means something. This story begins with a very small moment. A moment you may know very well. It is a quiet moment. You sit down to do something important. Maybe you want to study English. Maybe you want to read. Maybe you want to listen to a lesson or watch a video or finish a small task. At first, you feel good. You feel ready. You tell yourself, this time, I will focus. Your body is still. Your eyes are open. Your mind feels clear. But then, something happens. A small sound. A thought. A feeling. Your phone vibrates. Or maybe it does not vibrate, but you think it did. You look at it anyway. Just for 1 second. And in that second, your focus quietly walks away. You are still sitting there, but your mind is somewhere else. 5 minutes pass. 10 minutes pass. And suddenly, you realize something painful. You are not really here anymore. You feel confused. You feel a little tired. Maybe a little angry with yourself. You ask a soft question inside your head. Why can't I stay focused? This question is not loud. It is not angry. It is tired. And this is where our story truly begins. You are not alone in this moment. Many people around the world feel the same way. They want to focus longer. They want to listen better. They want to learn deeply. But their mind feels like a small child that runs away again and again. If this sounds like you, please listen closely. This story is not here to judge you. This story is here to walk with you. Slowly. Kindly. Like a friend sitting next to you, speaking in simple English, one calm sentence at a time. Let me tell you about a person. This person is not famous. Not rich. Not special. This person could be you. Let us call him Alex. Alex wants to improve his English. He knows English is important. He knows it can change his life. He wants to understand movies. He wants to speak with confidence. He wants to feel proud when he uses English. One evening, after a long day, Alex sits at his desk. He opens an English video. He tells himself, I will focus for 30 minutes. 30 minutes does not sound long. It sounds easy. The video starts. The voice is calm. The lesson is clear. For the first 2 minutes, Alex listens carefully. He nods. He understands. Then his mind starts to move. It remembers a problem from work. It remembers a message he did not answer. It remembers something embarrassing from the past. The English voice continues, but Alex is no longer listening. His eyes are open, but his mind is closed. After 10 minutes, he feels lost. He stops the video. He sighs. He feels disappointed. I am bad at focusing, he thinks. Maybe I am just lazy. This thought feels heavy. It makes his chest tight. He closes the laptop. But here is something very important. Alex is not lazy. And neither are you. The problem is not that you cannot focus. The problem is that no one taught you how focus really works. Focus is not a switch. It is not something you turn on and forget. Focus is like a small fire. You must build it slowly. You must protect it from the wind. And you must understand it. That night, Alex does something different. Instead of closing everything, he stays still. He does not open another app. He does not grab his phone. He just sits there. He asks himself a new question. Not, what is wrong with me, but what is really happening inside my mind? This question is gentle. And because it is gentle, the answer begins to appear. Alex notices something. His mind is tired. Not weak. Not broken. Just tired. All day, his mind jumped from one thing to another. Messages. Screens. Sounds. Fast information. His mind never had time to rest. And now, in the quiet moment of study, all that tiredness shows up. His mind is asking for rest, not punishment. This realization is small, but it changes something. Alex feels softer toward himself. And in that softness, focus has a small space to return. This is a turning point. Many people believe focus means forcing yourself, pushing harder, being strict. But real focus does not grow in fear. It grows in safety. When your mind feels safe, it stays. When your mind feels attacked, it escapes. Let us slow down together. As you listen to this story, you're already practicing focus. You are training your ear. You are training your mind to stay with one voice. Maybe your mind will wander. That is okay. When you notice it, gently come back. This is not failure. This is practice. Alex decides to try again. But this time, he does not promise 30 minutes. He promises only 5 minutes. 5 minutes feels friendly. 5 minutes feels possible. He presses play again. He sits comfortably. He takes one slow breath. And something interesting happens. Because the goal is small, his mind does not feel afraid. It does not feel trapped. It listens. 1 minute passes. 2 minutes. When a thought appears, Alex notices it, but he does not follow it. He lets it pass like a cloud. The English voice continues. The words feel clearer. When the 5 minutes end, Alex stops. He smiles. He did it. Not perfectly, but honestly. And that small success creates something powerful. Trust. Focus grows from trust. Trust in yourself. Trust that you can begin. Trust that you do not need to be perfect. Now let me ask you something. As you listen to this story, where is your mind right now? Is it fully here? Or is part of it somewhere else? Whatever the answer is, it is okay. The goal is not to control your mind. The goal is to understand it. In the days that follow, Alex starts to observe his focus like a scientist. Not to judge, but to learn. He notices that when he is tired, his focus is short. When he is hungry, his focus is weak. When he feels pressure, his focus disappears. But when he feels calm, when he feels curious, when he feels safe, his focus stays longer. This is a big lesson. Focus is connected to how you feel, not how strong you are. One evening, Alex remembers something from his childhood. When he was young, he could focus for hours on simple things. Drawing, playing, listening to stories. No one forced him. He focused because he wanted to, because it felt good. Somewhere along the way, focus became a duty, a test, a fear, and the joy disappeared. Alex understands that to focus longer, he must bring back a feeling of choice, of kindness, of interest. So he changes his language. He stops saying, I must study English. He starts saying, I choose to listen to English. This change is small, but powerful. His body relaxes. His mind opens. Words feel lighter. There is a quiet moment one night. Alex is listening to an English story. He realizes he has been focused for 15 minutes. He did not force it. He did not notice the time. He was simply there. When he realizes this, he feels surprised and happy. This is not magic. This is alignment. His mind, body, and intention are in the same place. But the story does not end here. Focus is not something you win forever. The next day, Alex loses focus again. And that is okay. This time, he does not panic. He smiles a little. He thinks. This is part of the process. Instead of stopping, he takes a short break. He stretches. He drinks water. Then he comes back for another 5 minutes. This flexibility keeps the door open. Now let us bring the story back to you. You are listening to this in English. Maybe English is not your first language. Maybe listening feels hard. Maybe your mind gets tired. If so, please remember this. Every time you come back to the sound of my voice, you are building focus. Every return is a success. Staying focused for longer is not about becoming someone new. It is about understanding yourself better. It is about creating conditions where your mind wants to stay. Silence, kind goals, gentle language, short sessions, and most importantly, patience. At the end of this first part of our story, there is one simple takeaway. Focus is not a fight. Focus is a relationship. When you treat your mind like a friend, it listens. When you treat it like an enemy, it runs away. In the next part, we will go deeper. We will explore the hidden enemies of focus that you may not see. We will learn how modern life quietly steals attention. And we will discover how to take it back, slowly, calmly, in simple ways that really work. For now, take a breath. You stayed. You listened. And that means you are already learning how to stay focused for longer. That already tells a quiet story. It says you returned. And returning is one of the most important skills in focus. In the first part, we met Alex and we saw something gentle but powerful. Focus is not force. It is understanding. Now, in this second part, the story moves deeper. We begin to look at something that many people do not see. The silent thieves of attention. They do not shout. They do not attack. They quietly take your focus while you are busy blaming yourself. Alex begins to notice something strange in his daily life. He sits down to study, but before he even starts, he already feels tired. Not physical tiredness. Mental tiredness. His mind feels full, even before the lesson begins. One morning, while drinking coffee, he decides to watch himself carefully. Not to judge. Just to notice. He wakes up and checks his phone. Messages. News. Short videos. He scrolls without thinking. 5 minutes become 10. 10 become 20. Each piece of information is small, but together they fill his mind like noise in a crowded room. When he finally sits down to study English, his mind is already busy. There is no quiet space left. This is the first silent thief. Too much input. Modern life gives us information all the time. Sounds. Words. Images. Our mind was not designed for this speed. When the mind is full, focus has nowhere to sit. Alex realizes something important. His problem is not that he cannot focus. His problem is that he never gives his mind a break. That day, Alex tries something new. Before studying, he does nothing for 2 minutes. No phone. No music. No screen. He just sits. At first, it feels uncomfortable. His mind wants stimulation. It wants something to grab. But he stays. He breathes slowly. After 1 minute, the noise begins to soften. After 2 minutes, there is a small feeling of space. When he starts the English lesson, it feels different. The words enter more easily. Focus feels lighter. The second silent thief appears later that week. Alex notices it when he makes a mistake. He forgets a word. He does not understand a sentence. Immediately, a voice appears inside his head. You are slow. You should be better. Others learn faster. This voice feels familiar. It sounds like motivation, but it is not. It is criticism wearing a mask. And criticism kills focus. When the mind feels attacked, it tries to escape. It looks for safety and distraction. Alex remembers how children learn. They make mistakes all the time. They laugh. They try again. They stay focused because they feel safe. There is no fear. Alex understands that self-talk matters. The way you speak to yourself changes how long you can stay with something. So he changes the voice. When he does not understand, he says, "It's okay. I am learning." When he forgets, he says, "I will see it again." This voice is calm. And because it is calm, his focus stays longer. Not perfect, but present. The third silent thief is hurry. Alex notices this one at night. He looks at the clock while studying. I must finish this lesson. I don't have enough time. Hurry creates pressure. Pressure makes the mind tight. A tight mind cannot focus. It jumps. It rushes. It escapes. One evening, Alex decides not to look at the clock. He tells himself, I will stop when I feel tired. This simple change removes pressure. Time slows down. He listens more deeply. He understands more, even though he studies for a shorter time. He learns a surprising lesson. Slow focus is stronger than rushed focus. Now let us pause the story for a moment and bring it back to you. As you listen to this, notice your body. Is it tense? Are your shoulders tight? Is your jaw tight? These are signs of hurry. Gently relax. You do not need to rush the story. The story will wait for you. Alex continues his observation. Another thief appears. Multitasking. He believes he can listen and check his phone at the same time. He believes he can study and think about something else. But the mind does not work like that. It does not do two things at once. It switches quickly. And every switch costs energy. Focus becomes thin. Like paper. Alex tries an experiment. He puts his phone in another room. Not forever. Just for 10 minutes. At first, he feels nervous. What if someone messages? What if he misses something? But after a few minutes, something interesting happens. His mind settles. It stops checking. It stays with the lesson. The English words feel clearer, deeper. He finishes the session feeling calm, not tired. This teaches him a powerful truth. Focus is not only about what you do. It is about what you remove. There is one more silent thief. Fear of boredom. Many people are afraid of boredom. Silence feels empty. Slow feels uncomfortable. So they escape into stimulation. But boredom is not the enemy of focus. Boredom is the door. When you stay with boredom, curiosity appears on the other side. Alex remembers a moment when he almost quit a lesson because it felt boring. Instead of stopping, he stayed for 2 more minutes. Suddenly, something clicked. A phrase made sense. A sound became clear. That small reward came because he stayed. Focus often rewards patience quietly. Now Alex's daily routine changes. Not dramatically. Gently. He creates small rituals. Before studying, silence. During studying, kindness. After studying, rest. These rituals tell his mind, you are safe here. And the mind responds by staying longer. Some days are still hard. Focus comes and goes. But Alex no longer sees this as failure. He sees it as weather. Some days are sunny. Some are cloudy. You do not fight the weather. You prepare for it. There is a moment near the end of the week. Alex listens to an English story for 20 minutes without checking his phone. He understands more than before. But more importantly, he feels peaceful. This feeling is new. Learning no longer feels like a battle. It feels like a walk. Let us reflect together. What are the silent thieves in your life? Too much input? Harsh self-talk? Hurry? Multitasking? Fear of boredom? You do not need to fight them all today. Just notice one. Awareness is the first step. As you continue listening to English, remember this. Focus is not something you force from the outside. It is something you protect from the inside. You protect it with silence, with kindness, with patience. At the end of this part, there is one simple takeaway. If you want to stay focused longer, stop blaming yourself and start changing your environment and your inner voice. Focus is fragile, but when cared for, it grows. In the next part, we will enter a deeper stage of the story. We will see how focus connects to meaning, why purpose keeps attention alive, and how storytelling itself can train your focus in a natural way. For now, take another slow breath. You are doing well. You are still here. And that means your focus is learning to stay. If you are listening right now, you are building a very important skill, staying with one voice, one story, one idea. This is the third part of our journey. In the first part, we learned that focus grows from kindness and trust. In the second part, we discovered the silent thieves that quietly steal attention. Now, in this part, we explore something even deeper. Something that can transform the way you focus forever. The power of meaning. Alex, our friend in the story, begins to notice that some lessons are easy to focus on, while others are hard. Some words stick in his mind. Others vanish like smoke. At first, he feels frustrated. Why do some things capture attention while others do not? Then, slowly, he realizes the answer is simple, yet profound. Focus is drawn to meaning. The mind naturally wants to stay with what matters. Not what is forced. Not what is random. What matters is personal, emotional, or interesting. Without meaning, focus slips away. With meaning, it grows. One morning, Alex decides to experiment. Instead of opening a random English lesson, he chooses a story that reminds him of his childhood. A story about a small bird learning to fly. Something soft, simple, and curious. As he listens, something magical happens. His mind does not wander. He leans forward, even though no one can see him. His ears pick up every word, every pause, every emotion. His heart moves slightly, almost like the bird in the story. He feels alive in the moment. Focus is no longer a task. Focus is a feeling. This is the first lesson about meaning. When your mind connects emotionally, focus lasts longer. But meaning is not always obvious. Alex notices that sometimes lessons feel boring at first. The words feel strange. The grammar feels confusing. The mind wants to escape. Here, meaning must be discovered, not given. Alex tries something new. He asks a quiet question before every session. Why do I want to learn this? How will this help me? At first, the answer is weak. Because I must. But then he digs deeper. Because I want to talk to new people. Because I want to understand movies. Because I want to feel proud of myself. These personal reasons ignite the mind like a small fire. Even difficult lessons feel lighter. Focus grows naturally because meaning fuels it. One afternoon, Alex experiments again. He combines English listening with another activity he loves, drawing. As he listens to a story, he draws a small picture. At first, he worries this will distract him. But surprisingly, it helps him focus. Drawing keeps his hands busy, his mind calm, and his attention gentle. The story and the drawing create a connection. Alex realizes that focus does not always mean sitting perfectly still. It means creating conditions where your mind wants to stay. And when something feels meaningful, focus comes easily. There is another hidden truth about meaning. It connects to curiosity. Alex notices that when he asks questions while listening, his mind becomes sharper. What happens next? Why did the character do that? How does this sound in English? Curiosity is like a magnet for focus. The mind wants to explore. It wants to understand. Instead of forcing himself to stay, Alex simply follows his curiosity. Focus stretches without effort. Learning feels like a gentle adventure. But meaning also teaches patience. Some lessons take time to reveal their value. Alex remembers a story he did not understand at first. The grammar felt strange. The words were new. He almost stopped listening. But he returned the next day slowly, piece by piece. Suddenly, everything clicked. The story made sense. The emotion appeared. Alex smiles, realizing the mind needed time to connect the dots. Focus and understanding grow together when meaning is present. Impatience weakens both. Now, let us pause and think about your own journey. What makes English meaningful for you? Maybe it is a dream to speak with friends. Maybe it is a favorite movie. Maybe it is simply the joy of understanding a new word. When you connect learning to meaning, even small moments of focus become powerful. Every session counts, even if it is just 5 minutes. Your mind feels alive because it wants to be here. Not because you must. Not because someone says so. But because it matters to you. Alex's focus grows stronger every day. He notices that listening to English stories is no longer stressful. Even if he does not understand every word, he feels connected. He feels present. His mind does not escape. Mistakes do not frustrate him. They are part of the journey. And this is the third lesson. Focus grows when you find personal meaning, emotional connection, and curiosity. One evening, Alex reflects on his week. He realizes that the moments he struggled the most were when he felt no connection. Random lessons. Empty phrases. Noise. The moments he succeeded were when he cared. When his heart was involved. He sees now that focus is not only a skill. It is a relationship. A relationship between you, your mind, and what matters to you. And here is something beautiful. Meaning does not have to be grand. It does not have to be life-changing. Small things work too. A story that makes you smile. A word that surprises you. A voice that comforts you. These small sparks are enough. They grow focus quietly, steadily, like tiny roots under the soil. By the end of this part, Alex feels different. Not perfect. Not always focused. But more aware. More patient. More connected. His mind is not fighting anymore. It is choosing. Choosing what matters. Choosing what is worthy of attention. Choosing focus naturally. As you listen, notice your own connection. What small spark can keep you present? What curiosity can guide your mind? Remember, every time you return to English listening, every time you stay with one voice, you are practicing this skill. Focus grows slowly. Focus grows gently. Focus grows when it is chosen, not forced. In the next part, we will explore the practical steps Alex takes to train focus daily. Simple habits. Gentle routines. Real exercises that will help you stay attentive longer without stress. Focus will no longer feel like a fight. It will feel like a companion on your learning journey. For now, take a deep breath. Smile. You stayed. You listened. And this alone shows the power of meaning in keeping your mind present. You have learned that focus grows from trust, kindness, and meaning. You have discovered the silent thieves that steal your attention. You have seen how connection and curiosity make the mind stay. Now, in this fourth part, we take the story one step further. We explore how Alex, our friend, builds focus every day through simple, practical habits. These habits are gentle. They do not demand perfection. They train the mind like a muscle, slowly, patiently, steadily. Alex begins with one very small habit. Each morning, he spends 2 minutes sitting quietly. He does not check his phone. He does not look at the news. He just breathes. He feels his body. He notices his thoughts. At first, it is difficult. His mind wants to wander. But he smiles and gently returns his attention to his breath. 2 minutes do not sound like much, but the result is surprising. His mind feels calmer. When he starts English lessons afterward, the words feel clearer. Focus lasts longer. This small habit teaches Alex an important lesson. Small beginnings create big change over time. Next, Alex organizes his study space. He notices that clutter distracts him. Pens scattered, papers everywhere, devices buzzing. He decides to create a small corner for English. A notebook, a pen, and a quiet spot. When he sits there, his mind automatically shifts. It knows this is a place for listening, for learning, for being present. Environment matters. Focus is easier when the space signals calm and purpose. Alex also develops the habit of short, repeated sessions. Instead of forcing one long study period, he practices 5 to 10 minutes at a time. Each session ends before fatigue arrives. This feels manageable. This feels friendly to the mind. He repeats these sessions daily. Slowly, his attention grows longer. One day, he notices he can stay focused for 20 minutes without struggle. This is progress, not perfection. Another habit is reflection. After each session, Alex spends a minute thinking about what he learned. Not to criticize, not to judge, just to notice. What words were new? What sounded interesting? This reflection strengthens memory. It connects learning to meaning. It tells the brain, this moment mattered. And when the brain recognizes value, focus becomes easier next time. Alex also creates gentle breaks. Every time he studies, he allows himself to pause. Stretch, drink water, walk a few steps. At first, he worries that breaks will break his focus. But surprisingly, breaks restore it. The mind, like a plant, needs water and sunlight. Without rest, attention wilts. Alex learns that focus is not constant. It flows. It ebbs. Respecting that rhythm strengthens the mind. Another simple habit is single tasking. Alex stops multitasking. No phone, no messages, no music while listening. He focuses on one thing. The mind responds. Attention deepens. Mistakes become less frightening. Learning becomes smoother. He realizes that productivity does not come from doing more at once. It comes from doing one thing fully, calmly, kindly. Journaling becomes another tool. Alex writes down small notes about his progress. Words he liked, sentences he repeated, sounds he noticed. This small daily habit keeps him connected to his learning journey. Focus grows because his mind sees progress. Even tiny wins matter. They accumulate silently, like drops filling a cup. Alex also experiments with movement. Sometimes he listens while walking slowly. The rhythm of his steps helps his mind anchor. He notices details in the English words more clearly. Focus does not only happen in silence. It happens when the body and mind work together. Another habit is gentle curiosity. Each session, Alex asks one question before he begins. What will I notice today? This tiny question frames his attention. It creates a purpose. Focus loves purpose. Without it, the mind drifts. With it, even small lessons feel alive. Alex also learns to use positive self-talk daily. When he feels distracted, he whispers, "It's okay. I am here. I can start again." The mind relaxes. The escape urge decreases. Focus returns naturally, without struggle. He realizes that the voice inside matters more than any schedule or rule. Finally, Alex balances challenge and comfort. He does not always push himself to hard lessons. He mixes easy, enjoyable stories with slightly harder ones. Easy lessons reinforce confidence. Hard lessons stretch attention. Focus grows best when there is a gentle balance. Too much stress kills it. Too much comfort keeps it stagnant. The mind likes gentle challenge, like a small wave stretching a flexible tree. Over weeks, these small habits create a rhythm. Alex notices a subtle change. He does not need to force focus. The mind sits with lessons. Curiosity, calm, and kindness guide it. Mistakes do not frighten him. Short sessions feel natural. Focus is no longer a battle. It is a companion. A quiet, reliable friend. And this is the key takeaway of this part. Focus is trained through daily, gentle habits, not force or willpower. As you listen now, think about your own daily life. Can you create one small habit? 2 minutes of quiet? A special corner for English? A short session? One gentle question? Even the tiniest change matters. Small, repeated actions shape attention like water shapes stone over time. In the next part, we will explore the emotional side of focus. How feelings, energy, and motivation influence attention. We will see how Alex learns to work with his emotions instead of fighting them. And we will discover deeper ways to stay present in every English listening session. For now, take a slow breath. Smile gently. You are already practicing focus simply by listening carefully. This story, your attention, your presence, they are the training. You have learned that focus grows from kindness, awareness, meaning, and daily habits. You know the silent thieves and the power of small routines. Now, in this fifth part, we enter a deeper layer of focus, how emotions and energy influence attention. Focus is not only a mental skill, it is also emotional and physical. Understanding this can change the way you learn forever. Alex notices this one afternoon. He sits down to listen to an English story. His mind feels restless. He yawns. His body feels heavy. Even though he planned a short 5-minute session, he cannot stay present. At first, he feels frustrated. Why now? I practiced habits. I tried meaning. Why can't I focus? Then he pauses and breathes. He asks a gentle question. What is happening in my body? He notices tension in his shoulders, a tight jaw, a fast heartbeat. He notices tiredness, not just in mind, but in energy. And in that moment, Alex realizes something important. Focus is connected to energy, not just willpower. The mind cannot stay calm when the body feels restless, tired, or stressed. Alex begins experimenting. First, he observes his energy throughout the day. Some hours are better for focus. Some are worse. After breakfast, he feels alert. Late in the afternoon, he feels heavy and distracted. He shifts his study sessions to match his natural energy peaks. Even short sessions feel easier. Focus becomes less of a battle because it respects the body's rhythm. Next, Alex notices emotions. One evening, he is tired but also slightly anxious about work. He sits down to listen. Immediately, his mind jumps to worries. He cannot stay with the English story. He takes a pause. He names the emotion softly, I feel anxious. Simply recognizing it gives the mind a small space. Anxiety begins to soften. Then he breathes slowly and continues. He learns a lesson that many overlook. Emotions are not obstacles. They are signals. Focus grows when you acknowledge emotions instead of fighting them. Alex also experiments with energy boosters. Short walks, stretching, or drinking water before listening help him stay attentive. Even listening after a refreshing shower feels easier. He notices that physical well-being and mental focus are connected. The body and mind are partners, not separate. Another observation comes from curiosity and interest. When Alex chooses stories that excite him, his energy naturally rises. His emotions become engaged. His focus stretches without effort. But when the lesson feels boring or irrelevant, his attention collapses quickly, no matter how disciplined he is. Focus thrives when energy, emotion, and curiosity are aligned. Alex also learns about the danger of emotional exhaustion. Some days, even with the best habits, focus feels impossible. He notices that pushing too hard creates tension, fatigue, and frustration. On these days, he allows himself rest. He smiles at the simple fact that the mind needs breaks. Focus is like a plant. If you overwater or stress it, it wilts. If you give gentle care, it grows. One evening, Alex tries a combined approach. He chooses a story he loves, sits in his favorite quiet corner, drinks a glass of water, stretches for a minute, and breathes slowly. His energy feels calm but alert. His emotions feel soft but engaged. He listens for 20 minutes. At the end, he feels pleasantly surprised. He did not force attention. He did not push. He simply aligned mind, body, and emotion. Focus came naturally. Alex notices another subtle pattern. Emotional highs and lows influence retention. When he listens while anxious or upset, he forgets words quickly. When he listens while calm and curious, words and phrases stick effortlessly. He begins to understand that focus is not just attention, it is memory, learning, and comprehension. Caring for emotional energy directly improves learning outcomes. Let us pause for reflection. As you listen, notice your own feelings. Are you calm or restless? Alert or tired? Excited or bored? Gently acknowledge your emotions without judgment. Feel your energy. Adjust your environment, your timing, or your posture if needed. Even small changes will help your mind stay present. Alex also experiments with micro-energy resets. He takes one deep breath, stretches his arms, and looks out the window for a few seconds before returning to the lesson. Each small reset restores focus. He realizes that attention is not continuous. It comes in waves. Understanding these waves is part of mastering focus. Over time, Alex develops an internal rhythm. He knows when to start, when to pause, when to rest. His focus grows because he respects his natural energy and emotions. He stops blaming himself for losing attention. Losing focus is not failure. It is information. It tells you what your body and mind need. Another important lesson emerges. Positive emotions enhance focus. Enjoyment, curiosity, gratitude, and mild excitement make attention last longer. Alex begins to pair English listening with small joys, smiling when a word is clear, noting a phrase he likes, feeling curiosity about the next sentence. These small emotions act like glue for attention. Finally, Alex integrates all layers he has learned so far. Habits, meaning, environment, silent thieves, energy, and emotion. He combines them gently. He sits in a calm space, chooses a meaningful story, aligns with his energy, observes his emotions, uses small micro-breaks, and maintains curiosity. Each session is shorter than before, but more effective. His focus grows naturally. The takeaway from this part is simple but profound. Focus is emotional and physical, not just mental. Attention thrives when energy, feelings, curiosity, and environment align. Pushing harder alone is not enough. Gentle alignment is more powerful than force. As you continue listening, notice your own energy and emotions. Adjust gently. Respect your mind, body, and feelings. Every small shift strengthens focus. Every moment of awareness is practice. In the next part, we will explore how storytelling itself can train attention. How stories like Alex's journey create natural hooks for the mind. How you can use narrative techniques to stay focused longer and enjoy learning English in a cinematic, emotional way. Take a slow, deep breath now. Smile gently. You are practicing focus by simply being present and listening. Your mind, body, and emotions are all learning together. We have explored trust, awareness, habits, meaning, emotions, and energy. All of these are important. Now, in this sixth part, we explore one of the most powerful tools for focus, storytelling. Stories are not just entertainment. They are natural magnets for attention. Our minds are built to follow stories. They create curiosity, emotion, and memory, all essential for staying focused. Alex realizes this one evening. He opens an English story online. It is about a small village where people solve little mysteries every day. As soon as the story begins, his mind leans in. Who will find the missing key, he wonders. His heart feels light curiosity. His mind is ready to notice details. He does not need to force attention. The story naturally keeps it. Alex understands something powerful. Stories create built-in motivation for focus. When the mind wants to know what happens next, it stays. He notices how stories create mini-goals inside his mind. Each sentence asks a question. Each paragraph creates curiosity. He predicts what might happen next. He listens for clues. He notices word patterns, pronunciation, and rhythm. All this happens effortlessly because the story creates structure and purpose. Focus becomes less about discipline and more about natural engagement. Alex experiments further. He tries listening to dry grammar lessons, then he listens to the same grammar explained within a story. The story version is easier to follow. His mind remembers phrases, sentence structures, and vocabulary more clearly. Storytelling provides context, emotion, and flow, all of which make attention stronger. Another insight comes from emotions. Stories create empathy. When Alex hears about a character feeling happy, sad, or surprised, he feels a small echo of that emotion. His mind is present because it cares. Emotional connection deepens focus naturally. Even if he does not consciously notice it, his brain is learning to stay attentive. Alex also notices rhythm. Stories have beginnings, middles, and ends. They have pauses and climaxes. His mind aligns with this rhythm. Attention flows in waves with the story. He does not feel scattered. Even if a word is difficult, he can follow the overall pattern. Rhythm in storytelling is a secret tool for guiding attention. He experiments with creating mini-stories himself. Before listening to English, he imagines a scene, a quiet street, a friendly dog, a small adventure. Then he listens as if he is part of that story. His imagination merges with listening. Attention stretches naturally. Focus becomes a playful activity, not a duty. Alex also discovers the power of repeated stories. When he listens to the same story multiple times, his focus deepens. The first time, he notices the main idea. The second time, details appear. The third time, emotions, pronunciation, and small words become clearer. Stories train attention gradually, layer by layer. Repetition combined with meaning and curiosity strengthens focus in ways that exercises alone cannot. He finds that stories reduce the fear of mistakes. When he listens to a story, he does not worry about missing a word or misunderstanding a sentence. He simply follows the narrative. His mind relaxes. Mistakes are less threatening, and a relaxed mind stays focused longer. Alex also notices how stories connect to memory. Characters, events, and emotions act like anchors. Words and phrases attach to these anchors. Later, he remembers vocabulary more easily because it is part of a narrative. Focus and memory grow together through storytelling. Another layer comes from prediction. Alex tries guessing what might happen next in a story. Each guess creates engagement. Each surprise rewards attention. Focus feels like a game, gentle but motivating. Curiosity and suspense are natural training for attention. Alex even experiments with his own voice. He reads stories aloud slowly in English. Speaking and listening together create double attention. He notices intonation, pronunciation, and rhythm. This active involvement strengthens focus because it uses multiple senses. Finally, Alex reflects. He sees that storytelling is not only a learning tool, it is a life tool. Stories guide the mind, provide meaning, connect emotion, and create curiosity. They transform focus from a skill that feels hard to a natural response. When you listen to stories, you do not fight the mind. You follow it gently. Let us pause for reflection. As you listen to this story, notice your curiosity. Are you wondering what happens next? Are you picturing the scenes? Are you feeling small emotions along the way? This is your mind practicing attention naturally. You are learning to stay present without effort. The key takeaway from this part is simple. Stories are focus machines. They combine curiosity, emotion, rhythm, memory, and engagement. Using storytelling in English listening is not just practice. It is training attention in the most natural, enjoyable way possible. In the next part, we will explore how Alex combines all the lessons so far, habits, emotions, meaning, and storytelling into a daily English listening practice. We will see practical examples of long-term focus growth, showing how small, consistent steps create big change. For now, take a deep breath. Imagine the story in your mind. Notice your attention following each word. You are already practicing the most powerful focus. He has learned about focus, The Silent Thieves, the power of meaning, daily habits, emotions, energy, and storytelling. Each part alone is powerful, but the real transformation happens when all these lessons come together. In this seventh part, we see how Alex builds a daily English listening routine that naturally strengthens attention, memory, and enjoyment. Alex starts his day gently. The first habit is 2 minutes of quiet sitting. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just breath and body awareness. He notices the rise and fall of his chest, the small tension in his shoulders, and the feeling of his feet on the floor. This brief pause signals to his mind, today we will focus gently and kindly. Even this small act improves attention because the mind begins in calm awareness rather than distraction. Next, he chooses a story with meaning. It could be about a small adventure, a conversation, or a scene that excites curiosity. Alex knows that stories with emotional connection naturally extend focus. He asks himself, why does this story matter to me? Today? Sometimes the answer is simple, because it is fun. Sometimes it is personal, because I want to remember these words for conversation. The mind pays attention when meaning is present. He sets up his environment. His study space is tidy. His notebook and pen are ready. Water is nearby. He keeps his phone in another room. No multitasking. Focus is easier when distractions are removed. The mind can rest in clarity rather than splitting attention. Alex begins with short listening sessions, 5 to 10 minutes each. He sits comfortably, breathes slowly, and follows the story. At first, he only understands the main idea. Some words are unclear. Mistakes happen, but he does not panic. He whispers to himself, it's okay. I am learning. Positive self-talk creates safety. Focus lasts longer because the mind feels supported, not attacked. After each short session, Alex takes a micro break. He stretches, drinks water, or looks outside for a few seconds. These small pauses refresh the mind and prevent fatigue. Focus is not a straight line. It ebbs and flows. Respecting this rhythm makes attention stronger and more sustainable. Then Alex reflects. He writes down new words, sentences, or ideas. Reflection reinforces memory and connects learning to personal meaning. By noting progress, the mind experiences reward. Motivation quietly increases, which naturally prolongs focus. Alex also repeats stories. He listens again to the same story after a short break. Each repetition deepens understanding. New words become clear. Pronunciation and rhythm improve. The mind grows used to sustaining attention because the story itself is familiar yet revealing. Some sessions include active engagement. Alex reads aloud, whispers words, or repeats sentences. This combines listening, speaking, and attention. Focus strengthens because multiple senses are involved. Attention is no longer passive, it is participatory. He aligns sessions with energy. In the morning, when alert, he chooses slightly harder stories. In the afternoon, when energy dips, he selects easy, enjoyable stories. He notices how energy levels affect attention. Adjusting the schedule respects the mind-body connection. Emotions are also part of the routine. Alex notices how curiosity, joy, and interest help him focus. Even small emotional sparks, like a smile at a clever sentence, deepen attention. He treats emotions as allies, not obstacles. When negative feelings arise, he observes them gently and resumes listening. Alex combines all these lessons into a single flow: quiet start, meaningful story, tidy environment, short listening, micro break, reflection, repetition, active participation, energy, awareness, emotional alignment. Each session lasts around 20 to 30 minutes, but the quality of attention is deep. Over weeks, This routine becomes natural. Alex notices subtle changes. He remembers more vocabulary, understands stories more clearly, and stays attentive longer. Focus is no longer a struggle. The mind is trained gently, gradually, consistently. The key insight is this: focus is not built by force. It grows through gentle, repeated, meaningful practice. Daily routines, combined with storytelling, emotional awareness, physical alignment, and self-kindness, create a fertile ground for attention. As you listen, reflect on your own learning day. Could you create a similar flow? Even small adjustments, 2 minutes of quiet, one meaningful story, one micro break, strengthen attention. Small steps repeated daily have exponential results. Finally, Alex notices that focus now feels like a companion. It is calm, reliable, and responsive. Mistakes do not scare him. Distractions are observed, not fought. Energy and emotions guide him gently. Learning English becomes an enjoyable journey, not a stressful task. In the next part, we will explore advanced strategies for sustaining focus during longer listening sessions. We will see how Alex gradually increases session length, manages challenges, and transforms English listening into a deeply satisfying, cinematic experience. Take a deep breath now. Smile. You are listening fully, following the story, and practicing attention naturally. Every moment of presence is part of your own focus routine. So far, Alex has built a strong foundation, understanding silent thieves, finding meaning, establishing daily habits, aligning emotions and energy, and using storytelling. In this part, we explore the next stage, extending focus for longer listening sessions. Many learners struggle to maintain attention beyond 10 or 15 minutes. Alex shows us how to do it naturally, without force or stress. One morning, Alex decides to try a slightly longer session. He chooses a story he loves, a small adventure with interesting characters. He prepares his environment, tidy desk, notebook, water, and a quiet space. He reminds himself gently, I will listen as long as it feels comfortable. I will pause if needed. This mindset is key. Long focus begins with permission, not pressure. As he listens, he notices attention waver after 15 minutes. The mind wants to wander. Alex does not fight it. He simply pauses, takes a breath, stretches, and refocuses. Each pause is short, but it allows the mind to reset. He continues listening. Slowly, he notices that the next 15 minutes feels smoother. Focus extends naturally. The lesson: long sessions require rhythm and gentle resets, not endless effort. Alex experiments with breaking the story into segments. He divides a 30-minute story into 3 10-minute parts. After each part, he reflects briefly, repeats keywords, or whispers sentences aloud. This keeps the mind engaged and prevents fatigue. Each segment builds on the previous one, and attention stretches naturally. He also uses curiosity strategically. Before each segment, he asks, what will happen next? What words will I notice? These small questions create anticipation. The mind leans forward willingly. Attention grows not because of force, but because curiosity drives it. Energy awareness remains central. Alex notices that late afternoons feel heavy. He schedules longer sessions during his alertest hours. When energy dips, he chooses short, simple stories instead. Respecting natural rhythms allows longer focus periods to feel manageable rather than exhausting. Emotions continue to guide attention. Alex smiles at clever words or interesting plot twists. Small positive feelings act like glue, keeping him present. When frustration appears, like missing a word or misunderstanding a sentence, he gently acknowledges it and returns to the story. Accepting emotions prevents them from breaking focus. Alex also experiments with active listening. He writes down new words, repeats phrases aloud, and occasionally pauses to imagine scenes in his mind. He discovers the importance of pacing. The mind cannot stay hyper-focused for long stretches without variation. Stories with natural pauses, dialogue, or suspense create built-in pacing. Attention follows the rhythm. Alex notices that boring, flat lessons are harder to sustain. Narrative flow makes longer focus easier. Over several weeks, Alex gradually increases session length. He starts with 20 minutes, then 30, then 40. Each time, he respects pauses, energy, and curiosity. He avoids forcing attention. The mind adapts naturally. Focus grows step by step, layer by layer. Alex also combines storytelling with review. After finishing a long story, he briefly recalls main events, interesting words, or emotional moments. This reinforces memory, strengthens comprehension, and rewards attention. The mind feels satisfied and is ready for the next session. Another key insight: repetition strengthens endurance. Listening to the same story multiple times helps the mind sustain attention longer. Familiarity reduces distraction. The story's rhythm and emotional hooks deepen focus. Each repetition is like gentle exercise for attention. Alex notices that focus now feels like a skill and a companion. Longer sessions are not stressful. Distractions are observed and gently released. Energy, curiosity, and emotion guide attention naturally. Learning English becomes immersive and enjoyable. Take a moment as you listen. Notice your own attention. Can you stay present for longer than usual? Even small extensions count. Every moment of awareness is practice. Focus grows gradually, with patience, curiosity, and kindness. In the next part, we will explore practical exercises and mini-challenges that help maintain attention in real-life English listening situations. We will see how Alex applies these lessons to conversations, videos, and daily practice, turning focus into a lifelong skill. Breathe slowly now. Smile gently. You are training your attention simply by listening fully to the story. Your mind is growing stronger, more patient, and more capable of. By now, Alex has learned the foundation of focus, aligned energy and emotions, used storytelling, and gradually extended listening sessions. In this part, we explore how to apply all these lessons to real-life English listening situations. This is where focus becomes practical, helping you understand conversations, videos, and everyday speech, not just stories. Alex begins by noticing daily listening moments. On the bus, he hears announcements. At home, he watches short videos. In conversations, he hears friends speaking. Each of these moments becomes an opportunity to practice focus. He reminds himself, attention is trained, not just used in classrooms. Every sound is practice ground. He starts small. While listening to a short video, he sits quietly and breathes, noticing the speaker's voice. At first, he only catches main ideas. That is fine. He repeats the video once or twice, focusing on details he missed the first time. Gradually, his mind becomes more comfortable holding attention for real-life English, not just stories. Alex applies curiosity strategically. He asks questions before listening. What will I understand? What new words might appear? Each question creates natural engagement. The mind leans in willingly. This works for videos, podcasts, and even conversations. Focus grows because curiosity is a personal motivator. He also uses small reflection techniques. After listening, Alex asks, "What did I hear clearly? What words are new? What emotions did I notice in the speaker?" Reflection strengthens memory, comprehension, and attention. Even short reflections after casual listening moments help the mind stay trained. Active participation is another tool. Alex repeats phrases he hears, whispers sentences aloud, or imagines the scene being described. This multisensory practice reinforces focus and understanding. Real-life listening becomes interactive. The mind stays alert naturally. Energy awareness remains key. When Alex notices fatigue during a podcast, he pauses, stretches, or resumes later. For conversations, he practices when alert, attentive, and curious. Respecting energy ensures that focus lasts longer without struggle. Alex also applies storytelling techniques. Even in real-life listening, he imagines small narratives. The bus announcement becomes a mini-story about the route. A conversation becomes a small plot with characters and emotions. This narrative approach anchors attention, making comprehension easier and more enjoyable. He notices distractions in real-life settings, noisy environments, internal thoughts, or interruptions. Instead of fighting them, he observes gently and returns to the listening task. Attention strengthens when the mind is trained to notice distractions without judgment. Another practical tip Alex uses is mini-segmentation. Long videos or lectures are broken into short chunks. After each chunk, he reflects briefly, repeats keywords, or notes interesting phrases. The brain processes each segment deeply before moving on. Attention lasts longer, comprehension improves, and fatigue decreases. Alex experiments with real conversations. He focuses on listening without planning a response immediately. He notices tone, emotion, and word patterns. This gentle focus allows him to understand more deeply, respond naturally, and maintain attention throughout the conversation. Repetition remains powerful. He listens to the same audio multiple times, each time noticing new details, words, or expressions. Familiarity reduces cognitive load, allowing the mind to sustain attention more easily. Each repetition reinforces focus, memory, and comprehension simultaneously. Alex also integrates short daily challenges. One day, he listens to a 2-minute clip and notes every new word. Another day, he predicts what the speaker will say next. These small, structured challenges train attention and curiosity. Over time, these exercises increase the mind's natural ability to focus during everyday English listening. He reflects on the emotional aspect too. Positive feelings, interest, enjoyment, pride enhance focus naturally. He celebrates small wins, understanding a word, noticing a phrase, or following a story. Emotional engagement becomes a companion in learning, not just a byproduct. Alex notices progress over weeks. He understands spoken English more easily, follows conversations without constant repetition, and retains vocabulary and expressions. Focus is no longer artificial. It flows naturally through curiosity, meaning, energy alignment, habits, and storytelling. Take a moment as you listen. Think about real-life listening moments you can practice with today. Even one short video, conversation, or announcement is an opportunity to strengthen attention. Every moment of engagement builds your mind's capacity for sustained focus. In the next part, we will explore techniques for handling distractions, overcoming frustration, and maintaining focus when the mind wants to wander. Alex will show how to use these strategies in both study and real-life situations. Breathe slowly now. Smile. You are already applying focus in real life by listening carefully to this story. Each attentive moment strengthens your ability to stay present in. So far, Alex has built a strong foundation for focus, habits, meaning, storytelling, energy awareness, and applying attention to real-life listening. But even with these skills, distractions and frustration still appear. In this part, we explore how Alex learns to handle these challenges without losing focus or motivation. One afternoon, Alex sits down to listen to an English story. He is tired from work. His phone buzzes, the window rattles, and his mind drifts to tasks he must finish. He feels irritation rising. Normally, these distractions would break his attention entirely. But Alex pauses and takes a slow breath. He reminds himself gently, distractions are normal. I can notice them and return to listening. This simple awareness creates space. Instead of struggling against distractions, he observes them, reducing their power. Alex develops a method he calls attention anchors. Every time his mind drifts, he silently names the distraction: phone buzzing, thought about work, noise outside. Then he returns to a small anchor, such as a word, phrase, or breath. Each time he practices this, attention strengthens. The mind learns that distractions are signals, not enemies. He also sets up his environment proactively. He keeps the phone in another room, closes unnecessary tabs on the computer, and chooses a quiet space. Minimizing distractions physically helps, but Alex knows that mental distractions will still appear. The anchor method trains the mind to return to focus even when distractions are unavoidable. Frustration appears sometimes, especially when comprehension is difficult. Alex notices that his mind says, "I cannot understand this word. I give up." Instead of reacting, he takes a pause, breathes, and whispers, "It's okay. I am learning. I can try again." Positive self-talk transforms frustration into gentle persistence. Focus continues because the mind feels safe rather than pressured. He experiments with micropauses. When frustration rises, a brief pause, stretching, drinking water, or looking outside resets attention. Even 30 seconds of rest can restore focus. Alex realizes that maintaining attention is not about relentless effort, but about gentle restoration. Alex also reframes mistakes. Missing a word, misunderstanding a sentence, or losing track of the story is not failure. It is information about where attention drifts. He observes it, notes it, and returns to the story. This approach reduces anxiety and strengthens focus. Mistakes become allies in learning, not threats. Curiosity helps overcome both distraction and frustration. Alex asks, "What new words will I notice now? What will happen next in the story?" Curiosity pulls attention forward. The mind leans in willingly. Frustration decreases because the brain is engaged, not resisting. He develops small routines for real-life distractions too. During conversations, if he notices the mind wandering, he gently returns attention to the speaker's words, tone, or emotions. While watching videos, he pauses briefly to reset when his focus drifts. Each time he returns, attention becomes stronger, more resilient. Alex also observes patterns of distraction. He notices times of day, moods, or environments that make focus harder. Instead of blaming himself, he adjusts: shorter sessions when energy is low, meaningful stories when curiosity is high, and breaks when attention feels weak. Awareness reduces frustration before it begins. He practices patience. Focus does not always feel effortless. Some days, attention drifts repeatedly. Alex smiles, breathes, and continues. Gradual, consistent practice builds endurance. Focus is a muscle. Strength grows with repetition and care, not with punishment or pressure. Another insight: small wins boost resilience. Even noticing a distraction and returning to attention is progress. Each successful return trains the brain to stay present. Alex celebrates these small victories silently, reinforcing positive emotion and sustaining focus. Finally, Alex integrates all strategies into a flow, noticing distractions, naming them, returning to anchor, using curiosity, taking micropauses, observing energy, self-talk, gentle patience. This sequence transforms potential frustration into practice, turning interruptions into opportunities to strengthen attention. Take a moment as you listen. Notice your own distractions or frustration. Can you name them gently? Can you return to the story, your breath, or a word? Every mindful return strengthens focus. Each repetition builds resilience, patience, and attention naturally. In the next part, we will explore how Alex combines all focus strategies into a weekly routine, creating sustainable, long-term improvement in English listening skills. We will see how small, consistent steps accumulate into lasting transformation. Breathe slowly now. Smile gently. You are already practicing resilience and attention simply by noticing and returning to this story. Your mind is becoming stronger, patient, and more capable of sustaining focus in any situation.